Hi, I'm Rob, research chef for Prairie Farms Dairy. We try to come up with new recipes for each season of the year showcasing our high-quality dairy products. What would the holidays be without a good dessert? This is a little thing called a Tronchetto, or sweet Italian log, that I learned in Italy a couple years ago. What I'd like to do is show you, first of all, how to prepare the pan that you'll be using. So we spread just a little bit of water onto a sheet pan here, nothing fancy, and we take our parchment paper, stick it right on. The water just helps the parchment to stick, and then we put a little spray release on top. Voila, our pan is ready. For this recipe, it calls for 4 eggs separated, 4 egg whites, 4 yolks, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. First thing we need to do is whip up our egg whites. While that's working, take a mixing bowl, our 4 egg yolks, our sugar, and our vanilla extract. We bring these together. Just until the egg yolks start getting fluffy and a little bit light in color. Always keeping an eye on our mixer. Once our eggs and sugar start becoming light, we can go ahead and add our all-purpose flour. Just get all that flour incorporated. We'll switch from a whisk over to our spatula. First, we take about 1/4 of the egg whites and just mix them into the yolk, sugar, flour mixture. What this does is kind of lightens things up. It gets the textures to almost mirror the egg whites. And this will be our lifting agent for our sponge. There we go. And we go ahead and add our whites and fold them in. But this recipe, you don't have to be real finicky, which makes it good. Voila, simple. Onto our prepared pan. Just go ahead and put your sponge mix right into the center of the pan. You can use a regular spatula for this, but I find that this offset spatula really works well. Then we just evenly spread it out into the shape of a rectangle, trying to follow the form of the pan. The more rectangular, the better, as you'll see as we get on. And we want to shoot for a 1/2 inch thick. Into the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. So once our sponge has cooled, we can go ahead and spread. But here we just go ahead and dollop on our whipped cream. You could put lemon curd, you could put raspberry jam, even use softened ice cream, some Prairie Farms Spumoni, and roll it up and froze it and made an ice cream cake roll. One of the keys to baking the sponge is to make sure that it gets a good golden brown on the outside. That way it won't stick to your parchment paper and will roll a lot easier. You can get 6 good-sized servings out of this recipe. Okay. So then we want to start peeling it gently away from the parchment on both sides. And traditionally, you could do it 2 different ways. You could either roll it up like a jelly roll, but more traditional in Italian cooking is to put a tri-fold. 1/3 over, 1/3 back, over on top of its seam. At this point, take your parchment, roll it back up, and put it back into the fridge. You need to leave it in the fridge for at least 2 hours. Overnight can't hurt. But 2 hours, you just want the whipping cream to set up a little bit. You want the sponge to cool down and everything to come out like this. Very nice log shape. There's several ways you can cut this. I like to trim off the ends. And I'll show you how we'll plate this up. Get a nice serving platter. You can cut this into straight wedges. See how that looks? See how the sponge comes through with the whipped cream? Or you can get fancy and you can cut into triangles. See how it looks? So just kind of arrange it on your plate, and then we can dust it with powdered sugar. You could macerate some berries. You could use some berries that you used this morning for your smoothie that you made with Prairie Farms Greek yogurt. Have some of those left over. Or we can just, since it's the holidays, let's go ahead and just tap on some chocolate. Prego, Tronchetto.
Thank you. And remember to party on, give on with Prairie Farms this holiday season.
Good.
Really good. Now, how do you spell that?
For the spelling and the recipe, please go to prairiefarms.com.